Welcome back everyone, Racerx here, and today I thought I would put a quick video together for you guys about Dodge's incoming 2026 Charger 6-pack. You can see this Daytona right here behind me. That is the Scat Pack version, and recently they announced that the RT version is going away for good. That's the lower level trim, and this Scat Pack version for 2026 will be order only. You can see that new hood stripe, which I'm actually kind of digging. But the 6-pack is a car that is a little bit more anticipated because yes, it is gas powered. It is going to feature both the standard output Hurricane inline 6 and also the high output Hurricane. That is the inline 6 as well. It's just a little bit different calibration, different engine parts on that, and the horsepower obviously gets bumped up on the high output version. But will those cars actually sell? And is Dodge kind of messing up the offering on this in terms of, you know, the 4-door versus the 2-door? We'll talk a little bit about it today. If you guys are brand new to the channel, please do me a big gigantic favor, hit subscribe. You can find that button over here. Off we go. Really quick, before we get on with today's video, I want to take just a quick second because it is Memorial Day weekend and thank all of our service members out there, both past and present. Thank you for everything that you guys do to make our country great and keeping us all safe out there, and certainly for all of our fallen brothers out there. They will be in our prayers. And anyway, guys, be safe out there this holiday season. I do want to give you guys a quick reminder that my folks over at Dream Giveaway, my partners, are doing 5X entries on their Hellcat 0 to 60 giveaway. I don't know if you guys have seen that, but I put it out there. It is their quickest giveaway that they have ever done. They're only keeping it for 60 days and we're like halfway through. And right now, if you use my code Racerx, you will get 5X entries, but it's only for Memorial Day weekend. So this thing ends on Monday. So guys, this thing is gonna end really, really quick. It is a manual 2023 Hellcat in Sublime and Black. What a beautiful car. 19 miles. It is essentially brand new, and you guys can enter to win that at Dream Giveaway. Once again, use my code Racerx. Only this Memorial Day you get 5X entries. I can't wait to see who wins. I really hope Dodge is able to retain a lot of the features I like about this car in their new 6-pack. Obviously, the front of the car is going to look a little bit different than this does. This being an EV, it doesn't have to have the same kind of airflow to feed that twin-turbo inline 6. They are going to have a grill. They got to have intercoolers. I mean, they're just going to have to plumb the air differently on this car. Now, this is a fully decked out Scat Pack. It's like an $86,000 spec on this. It's got the Plus package. It's got the track pack. Obviously, you do see that stripe there. So on this track package, you actually get like bigger brakes, you get a more advanced suspension. I mean, take a look at how big the brakes are on this. This car weighs almost 6,000 pounds, but I'm kind of hoping they bring those big brakes over to the 6-pack, which will be way, way lighter. You can see this one actually has the stripe going down the side. I do really like these carbon mirrors that they have right here. Those actually are really sharp, but I mean, I think the car is striking. Actually, when you get back here, you'll see another part of the track pack. You get this black spoiler back here, and I'm kind of hoping they'll retain this package on the 6-pack because I think it's nice. Now, for those of you guys that say you do not like the interior of the new Charger, I realize everybody kind of has their own opinion. I feel like people are just hating on the car because it's electric. When you sit in this, it is vastly upgraded compared to the outgoing 2023 Charger and Challenger. Check out this carbon fiber trim right over here on the door. It wraps all the way around here on the dash. The digital display in this car is better. The steering wheel in this car is better. I love this ambient lighting right here. Now, keep in mind, this is a fully decked out Scat Pack. So this has the optional carbon suede package. It also has the Plus package. I mean, you really can't get one more decked out than this, but this is a really nice place to sit. I mean, check out that carbon fiber here in the middle. Huge improvement over the outgoing Charger and Challenger in my estimation. So here is my big worry with the incoming 6-pack car. A lot of people are well aware that this is basically the most hated car on the internet. If it is not the most, it is definitely one of the most. And it just doesn't really sit well with a lot of the folks that are in the brotherhood of muscle, so to speak. This is no secret. I mean, this car is really, really hated by a lot of Mopar enthusiasts, a lot of car enthusiasts in general, a lot of EV purists. I mean, it just, the list goes on and on. As I mentioned before, I think this car is actually pretty darn fun to drive. I think it has a lot of nice characteristics to it as well. Love the interior of the car, but being that it is an EV and you're trying to appeal to muscle car guys, and you're also trying to compete against what Tesla does and all sorts of other things, all sorts of other factors out there, the car literally just isn't selling. And because they brought this car out first, I feel like it's going to have a negative impact on the Hurricane-powered car, the six-pack car, right? Everybody's going to have a negative connotation just going into it. And I think it is going to be a very capable car. I've had an opportunity to drive both the Grand Wagoneer and the Ram trucks with both the high-output Hurricane and the standard output Hurricane. And I have to tell you, it is like night and day. Yes, the standard output feels like it's got a decent amount of power to it, but it is amazing when you jump from that right into the high output version back to back, just how much faster the high output version really is. And we know, being that the RT version of this already is going away, nobody's wanting to buy it, are people really going to want to line up to buy the lower level trim in the six-pack? I mean, that's my biggest thing with it. And we know the four-door version is going to get the standard output. So you will not be able to get a four-door Charger six-pack with the high output engine. And I think that that may be a mistake by Dodge, because when you think about like the RTs going up to 2023, right? You had both Charger and Challenger RT powered cars with the 5.7. You had the 6.4 in the Charger, the four-door, and the two-door Challenger. You had the Hellcat in both of them. So you kind of always had an equal power plant. But when it comes to the four-door, it doesn't seem to be getting the same amount of love as the two-door. And I realize Dodge sometimes has to pare down their offerings, but I'm just worried that nobody is really going to want to sign up for the four-door version of this because it is only getting the less powerful engine. Everybody's going to want to flock to the two-door, including myself. I'm actually really eager to see how it drives because I actually really like the way the Hurricane drives in this. I realize there's a lot of Hemi purists out there that are like, no, let's just wait for the Hemi to go in one of these, which they are working on. So we'll just have to wait to hear more about that. But I actually think the high output version of this is going to be way, way faster than the standard output in terms of just quarter mile time, the way it performs, just driving it around, the way it feels. And obviously, like I said, with them just canceling the RT, the lower version of the electric, I don't know, are they making a mistake by not throwing a high output Hurricane in the four-door? I really kind of feel like maybe if it's a price point thing, they should throw some of the standard output Hurricanes in the two-door. And they should also throw some of the high output Hurricanes in the four-door. Just my thoughts on that, but I would hate to see Dodge miss a lot of sales because they didn't do that. About 6 months ago, I had an in-depth conversation with Tim Kuniskis, and we talked about a lot of different things, but one of the things that came up on that call was why they decided to release this car, the electric Daytona, before releasing the six-pack, the Hurricane-powered car, because in my estimation, it would have been a lot easier transition for somebody that loves Hemis and Hellcats to go to an inline twin-turbo 6 that still makes really good power, more than the outgoing Hemi versions. Instead, we just go full-bore electric, and that's a lot to ask your brand loyal enthusiasts that are kind of used to one thing. They're used to, you know, when they think about a muscle car, right? They're used to fire-breathing V8s. They're used to tire-shredding power, and I mean, that's been the case since the 60s. And now to just go full electric mode like that, and I realize it wasn't really Tim's decision. I think a lot of you guys are well aware of that. We know whose decision it was. But ultimately, that was the decision that was made. And Tim's comment to me was, look, they just felt like it wasn't the responsible thing to do from a financial standpoint. But now we know this car didn't sell anyway. So I guess they thought that maybe this car would do okay because it was new. And then they would bring in the six-pack, and that would garner a lot more interest. But this one actually didn't get a lot of interest at all. Matter of fact, it's more of a negative connotation for a lot of people, which I feel like now may have a negative kind of connotation on the six-pack car, right? When somebody sees one of these rolling down the road, will they think, you know, twin turbo 6 that, you know, is a lot of fun to drive and has a great torque curve and all that kind of stuff? Or will they think, oh, there's that piece of crap electric car that everybody hates? I can't say as I hate the car. I don't hate the car. I think it's, like I said, I think the car is actually really fun to drive. I just think it doesn't really hit a market segment that makes a lot of sense. I've talked about that in other videos, but I don't know, it's just something to think about. I mean, I feel like this could have been a really big blunder on Dodge's part, just in the way they released these cars. Now, here is something else to consider, because it is my understanding that Dodge is actively putting mules together with V8s, right, with Hemis. Now, will we see a Hellcat variant of this car? It's very possible. Will we see a 6.4 going into this car? I think that is highly likely. Obviously, that engine is getting ready to go in the Ram 1500, which I wish they would have done a long time ago. Obviously, with Tim Kuniskis back at the helm, I think we're going to see a lot of really cool stuff. We've got something else coming out on 6.8. That's coming up here really, really soon, so stay tuned for that. But even if they put a Hemi in this, has the car's image already been ruined? I guess that is really the question here, right? So whether it's a Hurricane 6 or whether it's a Hemi, will people be interested in buying this now that it's got a negative connotation. Time will tell. Anyway, guys, I just thought I would share my thoughts or concerns, if you will, about the incoming six-pack, also the Hemi variants of this car when they come out. I mean, will they really sell well? We know that this is kind of a declining segment. We talked about it in a different video, how Mustang sales are declining. I didn't think that that was going to happen based on the refresh, right, the S650, and the fact that it is the best V8 American option out there, yet the sales are just kind of coming down, 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 and have been doing so for like 20 years. Just the segment itself seems to be kind of dying out a little bit, which is a little bit of an alarming thing for somebody like me. So will this new car sell really well? I really, really hope for Stellantis' sake and Dodge's sake that it does. Only time will tell. Let me know what you guys think about it in the comments down below, and I will catch you on the next one. So until then, Racerx. We'll just have to wait and see. But anyway, guys, just thought I would put it out there. I got to completely redo this. Said the decision was made, and they thought it would have been kind of a financial irresponsible. He went away. Obviously, we've talked about that a few times. And so they would be. So about 6 months ago is a fully decked out Scat Pack, as I mentioned. So this has the carbon fiber right here, which is getting drowned out. God dang it. So here's my big worry with the incoming six-pack car. Obviously, we know that this car is kind of the most... So here's my big worry. Welcome back, everyone. Racerx here. And in that call, we talked about a lot of things, but one of the things that came up was the fact that I'm going to have to completely redo this video.